I just now discovered the most extraordinary essay. A treatise on making a snowman. By all means, use whatever is ready to hand. In a fuel oil burning area, for instance, it is inconceivable that fathers should sacrifice their days hunting downtown for lumps of coal for their children's snowman's eyes. Charcoal briquettes from the barbecue are an unwieldy substitute, and fuel oil itself is of course out of the question. Use pieces of rock, brick, or dark sticks. Use bits of tire tread or even dark fallen leaves, rolled tightly, cigar-wise, and deeply inserted into the sockets formed by the finger. Why in the blue-green world write this sort of thing? Funny written culture, I guess. We pass things on. So, grooming myself. And wanted to talk about spiritual battle. Spiritual battle. Part down the middle. Here we go. All set for a day of spiritual battle here. Okay. I was watching a talk given by this exorcist, and I don't quite know what to think of it. I just wanted to react a little bit to it. Try to post a link. My car is kind of a mess. Just clean it up, but he said this thing that kind of disturbed me. And got me thinking. He said that demons, when they oppress souls, or when they try to influence things, can use even good things for evil. So the example he gave was of a demon making a suggestion to a man that he'd go and tell his neighbor that his lawn looked really good. And unbeknownst to the man, perhaps the man with the nice lawn had just had an argument with his wife, in which she was complaining that he spent too much time on the lawn. And so the compliment about the lawn could be used by demons to I guess send the lawn care dude into a negative spiral, or something like that. It sounds silly when I started saying it. Just the example is silly. But it got me thinking about like uncertainty, and I don't know, it threw me into I feel like a state of momentary paralysis. And again, I just started thinking about like how it's sort of mysterious that one acts in the world at all, and one has the capacity for action, because from a purely reasonable point of view, there's no real reason to do X rather than Y on a fundamental level. You're biking down a bike path, and you're in the center of the path, and you're about to pass through a gate, and there's a rod in the middle of the gate, and you have to go to the right or to the left. Which way do you go? non-rational decision, because both decisions would be fine. The important thing is just to choose one. But is there some kind of coin flipping that happens in the mind? Or what's at play when we decide to act, basically? There are good things and there are bad things in some kind of objective way, and there are neutral things. But the particular things that we do, what are they? And how do we arrive at them other than by some kind of I don't know, fill in the blank. Grace, supernatural substrate. One or two had a pretty face, or no, how's it go? One or two had a pretty smile, and two or three had grace. But the mountain grass cannot but show what the mountain hair has lain. Something like that. One had a pretty smile and two or three had grace. But the mountain grass cannot but show where the mountain hair is lain. Oh, that's right. One or two had a pretty smile and two or three had grace. But smile and grace were but in vain. It's the missing one. For the mountain hair cannot but show where the... My mind is clearly not functioning very well right now. I'm groggy. My eyes hurt. Contact falling out. I feel like Mr. Potato Head. So the supernatural dimension, the spiritual world, spiritual warfare. The same priest said that the Vatican is the center of the cyclone. It's very, very hot on the spiritual warfare index. The heat map. I think one thing that's caught up in all this is, and that might make these thoughts a little bit more lucid or interesting, is the idea of conscience and what role conscience plays. Because, when it comes to the Vatican, just immediately, at least I immediately start to think about the pedophile scandal. To think about how that came about. I'm gonna have a hard time today. I can already tell. If I'm fumbling over my words, I can't think straight, man. Just didn't sleep well last night. I don't know, maybe a few nights in a row. My mouth feels like Lent. Need a brush. then again, why is being articulate some kind of metric of one's ability to stay on an even keel? Can't some people be inarticulate and brain foggy and still have faith? That's faith. Faith, and I don't know. Clearly in a confused state of mind. That's clear to me. I am right now, my thoughts are sort of confused. They're half-formed. Things aren't really clicking into place the way I usually prefer them to. But I guess the challenge is, can I exercise a kind of composure? Is it possible to be resourcefulness in even a state like this? On what does our self-worth and our expectation of goodness rest? Does our happiness depend on our good opinion of ourselves? And how far can our good opinion be stretched? How brittle is it? I was watching more Milton Erickson this morning. Specifically, I was watching an interview with this woman who is the woman who's put his content up on YouTube. She's a pretty old lady now, but she knew him in the late 70s and recorded him a little. And the interviewer was asking her what kind of man he was. And she described the whole process of paralysis, how he taught himself, like he was paralyzed from the neck down, and he taught himself gradually to move again by watching his little sister walk and visualizing how he had walked. Gradually regained conscious control of his body. Just remembering a Axe body spray commercial. Of all things right now. It's amazing, like, the kind of litter that just exists in my mind and comes out. It's like TV commercials I saw as a kid. Freaking A, man. Hot bod, man. Awesome bod. Did you see his bod? Just like seeing that whole commercial play out of my head right now. But anyway, he moved his bod. He got his ambulatory abilities fully functioning again. Man, I miss being like 14 years old and just watching anime all day. Those were some good times. Oh man, I got nothing like that in my life anymore. I am so weighed down with cares, it's unreal. I'm trying to figure out the spiritual world. It's the thing about it. You try to like figure this stuff out. You're like, ooh, spiritual warfare. That sounds intriguing. Demons and angels battling above, you say? Ah, yes. Let me just grab my Sherlock Holmes cap. My Sherlock Holmes pipe. And my blindfold. My Zatoichi blade. But no, so the idea in a nutshell that was occurring to me as I was sweating my nads off in the sauna was this, pedophilia. A fun subject to ruminate upon. Ugh. Talk about spiritual battle. Oppression, though. It's basically becoming more common knowledge, even in secular outlets, that in the Vatican, homosexuality and pedophilia are joined at the hip in a three-legged race to hell. That, you know, a lot of the reason why pedophiles were covered for is because there's like this sort of like blackmail, this mutual blackmail that's happening. The Lavender Mafia. But as a Catholic, you kind of explain it on one level by saying spiritual battle is, you know, the Vatican is obviously got a bullseye in its head. When you're in war, right, you don't target the infantrymen, you target the generals, the bishops, the cardinals. So if you're a satanic army, you're targeting them. So you kind of wave these things away. There's almost a kind of negative pride you can have as a Catholic sometimes about it. Like this proves that we're the real church, you know what I mean? Like, damn right, son, like look at all this madness. You see the same thing with, say, Germany. This negative pride about the Holocaust and so forth. It's like, we are the evilest country ever, which means like we're secretly, like we were the best country because we sunk the lowest, you know what I mean? Like no one has outdone us in evil because like no one can get that bad, you know what I mean? Like no one's as bad as me. No one, like I'm bad, yo. I'm bad, baby. Look, I know I'm naughty. I know I'm naughty. Look. So it's funny how pride works. Take a hold of anything. Or especially the bad sometimes, in a negative kind of way. And sometimes, you know, we might prefer to do bad for that reason, because in a screwy way, it helps with our good opinion of ourselves. It strokes our ego in a way. So I don't know. It's hard to know how to act. It's hard to know yourself. That's why Socrates is like the most virtuous man in Athens. Because he's just honest about it. He's like, I don't know. I plumb don't know. Alright? I simply don't know, okay? So, I don't know either. Which is why I'm the best, you know, because I don't know. So that makes me the best.